Okay, so let's look at your training from the last week, Cynthia. First thing here, you see your knees are coming in quite a lot. So if you really push those knees out a bit more, you're about to use your glutes more in the upward drive. Um, Give it a go. See if you can do it. Like, we need to figure out if this is a strength thing or a skill thing. 9 times out of 10, it's just a skill thing. So, like, really work on driving those knees out when you dip for a hip snatch. The other thing is, like, it is a little bit in front. And I think that's just from like that very slight forward movement of the hips that you see there, right? So we need to work on driving down into the floor with the legs in order to accelerate the bar. Okay, let's have a look at a couple more of these. We've got quite a lot to get through today, and I don't want this video to be like 20 minutes long, so. That was better. You definitely look more balanced in the receiving position. Overhead squat, nice positions as well. Let's look at the last one. You see that one, like your hips went back quite a lot, didn't they? Like in that initial dip. So you got a bit more back and forward movement on that one. The overhead squat was interesting as well. You're in a really nice position in the bottom. And like, it's not too bad. Like, you're just kind of like fighting to stay upright, but you did manage it. Okay, so in the caption, you're complaining about your knees coming in the front squat. Let's have a look. Oh, that's like nothing. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Like, keep pushing them out. Like, you don't want them to go in more than that. But like, it's not going to do you any harm. The main thing is, like, technique-wise, the more your knees go in, the more your hips go back, which changes the angle of your back in a way that's not favorable. So you're going to watch out for that. But keep driving them out. But that's not really a significant amount of, like, for your knees to come in. Yeah, don't worry about it. Like, on the dip in the hip snatch, that was a big deal. On the front squat there, that's not a big deal. Front squat jerk. Back leg was terrible. Let's have a look. Good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's terrible. Like, I would like to see a little bit more bend in the back knee, but I wouldn't describe that as terrible. I'm not seeing like when you brace before you I mean, it's better than it was. You just gotta squeeze your bum a bit more before you start the dip for the jerk. Like, it's less sticking out than it was before, but like, just squeeze your butt a little bit like that. And you'll get much better transfer of energy. But yeah. Yeah, the rain wasn't too disastrous. It looked bad. It took me a whole afternoon to like shovel all the rain out. I was literally using a snow shovel to chuck rain out the front door, but we managed to get it fixed. Okay. Overall, I like the snatch. I don't like this big gap between you and the bar. So a bit more lat engagement. We talked about that. So that's the main thing there, is just like keeping the bar a bit closer to your legs. You missed a couple here. Let's see. I'm guessing this is the heavier day on day 5. Okay, so there's a couple of things going on. Like, if you get into that position and you don't manage to stabilize it, it kind of suggests that like just a bit more upper body strength would allow you to stabilize that. Nice straight extension. Well done. Look at that. That's beautiful. Okay, so we're still just struggling here, like engaging the lats to pull the bar back. I did give you some pendulum rows on your next block of programming. I also gave you some snatch and clean deadlifts, but I'm going to change those. And instead, we're going to do halting clean deadlifts, where you pause at mid-thigh. I'm bringing up a video here for you. Okay, let's put you on the right page. Okay, so by pausing here with the shoulder in front of the bar, it forces you to squeeze the bar back into your legs with your lats, okay? So we're going to put some of those in your program. We're going to do the same thing for the snatch. Again, you pause at mid-thigh. Difference is the grip is wider. But that's going to allow you to practice keeping the bar close to your legs, okay? Okay, we clearly had a hard time with snatches on this day. Oh, this is a different day, unless you moved. Looks like you just moved over to the platform. It can really kill your rhythm if you like stop and move platforms. But I guess like you have to move from the warm-up area to the competition platform in a weightlifting meet anyway. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on with this miss then. It's a little closer to you. Comes away a lot there. So that one came out away from you a lot more in the turnover. I think often after you've missed a couple of lifts, this happens to everybody, because you're kind of expecting to miss it, you don't want it to be as close to you, because like if you need to bail, it's easier if the bar's out in front, right, instead of above your head. So that's one of the reasons it's so important to not miss at all, right? Because you start changing other things just because you've missed. Obviously, like sometimes it's so unavoidable, but we need to minimize them as much as possible. Okay, so your caption said that all these misses were mental, so it sounds like you're still a little bit scared about jerks. Yeah, you're right. I just walked away from that one, so we know what happens there. Not comp quality lift due to overbend. I did the jerk. Like honestly, like if you've clocked it a couple of times and you come back and you make it and press it out a little bit, then like what you've achieved is you've overcome the fear of the clocking, right? So that's kind of more important. Like it's always better to go for it and it'd be scrappy than you just like don't even try, right? Clean's looking solid. Let's go, come on. That's on the clock. Okay. So hard time with the clean front squat jerk on this day. Maybe some waste energy in the snatch as well. This is in your head. We've got a lot of volume of jerks coming up in the next block, so hopefully that'll help make those corrections. Alright, snatch in a minute. Nice and light to begin with. Just working on developing that consistency. These are nice and close to you too. I think like doing some extra work on like developing strength for keeping the bar close is going to be helpful, because it's apparent that your somehow missed one. Yeah, like if you're doing 16 on the minute snatches, like I might look at them all, but we're not going to go through them all one at a time anyway. But like if you send me just a spectrum, so I can see the general trend, that's just as helpful, to be honest. You can also like send me like if there's an interesting one or a miss that you don't understand, obviously include that too. Or like if you go from making them to missing them, or you suddenly start making an error. Yeah, these are nice. Okay, so that's a good start. Looks like we don't have any footage for the rest of the session. So the main thing we're going to do is if I bring up a program. Switch it over for you. There we go. We're going to change these snatch deadlifts and clean deadlifts, and instead put in the halting clean deadlift and the halting snatch deadlift, like we talked about. That's going to allow you to practice keeping the bar close, and like develop some upper back strength, which again is going to help you keep the bar close. Good training session overall. Like there's obviously some things to work on there. So in the snatch, it's just about like from the knee to the hip, you just got to squeeze it in more with the lats, which you're going to learn from that drill. In the jerk, it's all confidence, right? Hip snatch, drive your knees out. Right, let me know if you have any questions.